भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। प्रभु जो मास्टर वाला ना, मास्टर चलिए मास्टर उसको थोड़ा बताइए राइट साइड में मास्टर दिखा। हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। All together at a time. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Jai Shri Ram Ji, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Rama कीर्तन महाजन की जय, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, पतित पावन गौरांग महाप्रभु की जय, जय जगन्नाथ महाप्रभु प्रभु प्रभु सुभद्रा की जय, ब्रजेंद्र तनय श्री राधा कृष्ण कन्हैया की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय। नेता गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Hare Krishna. So today is our special guest, His Grace Harikatha Prabhu, and we reached here to give us the nectarian Bhagavata on this month of Kartik, based on Bhagavad. So we can welcome to him to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra one time. At a time we can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Prabhuji, in education he is gold medalist, and in spirituality, so he has from long decade he is serving our ISKCON in this Whitefield area, and he is serving in our Helu temple, Narsimha temple. By his efforts, by his service, in Whitefield we have expanded 9 to 10 centers. Lakhs of people get benefited, connected to Krishna consciousness. So Prabhuji, entirely, day and night, whatever the weather, he is just trying to connect these Whitefield people, how they can connect to Krishna, how they can part of this Prabhupada. So this is special mercy by Guru Gauranga and Gurudev Prabhuji, so that he can do lots of efforts to bring all of like slave people to bring to Krishna consciousness. So now Prabhuji is going to speak Bhagavad Gita, whatever the problems about the mind control. So mind who is our best friend and mind who is our worst enemy. So our best friend is our mind. So we are thinking about our relatives, our friends, they are our best friend. Actually they are not, because mind which is connected to you, which is body, which is connected to your soul. The same way, worst enemy is also mind. Whatever problems you will face, your mind is flickering and he is giving instead of positive direction, negative direction. So that's what we are having lots of problems. Today, lots of people might be they are hankering for the cricket match or something. But now, might be was telling that yes, I'll go to satsang or I'll go to this match. But the people who can understand, who is intelligent, that match can be highlighted to you later. I can get it. But if I'll go to satsang, I'll go to Bhagavad Gita, so that is the real thing which will connect to me. So Prabhuji is going to elaborately explain about Bhagavad Gita. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, to came here to give us the nectarian things. Now, don't tell you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So I'm very, very happy to be amongst all of you today. So this is the Gita course program is happening here, and most of you have joined this course this year, right, from Janmashtami. Okay. So Hare Krishna. You can reduce the volume. It was good before. Hare Krishna. If there is any echo, you can reduce the echo. So this is our humble effort to make this Bhagavad Gita available to as many people as possible in an easily understandable way. So many times people actually get Bhagavad Gita and then they tell that it's quite difficult to understand. You know? It's not that easy to understand. So why? Because the basic building blocks, that we have studied, in this in our education and things like that, and then the basic blocks that are there in Bhagavad Gita. So these are all completely different. We have so one of the things that we will see today in relation to the mind, how the mind actually functions, and like how the modern world have tried to utilize the mind, and what is the instructions that the Vedic scriptures are giving us, how we should actually utilize the mind. So we can actually see that we have been given this instrument, this body, and this body has the sensors and the mind, intelligence, and all these things. So, but then when we understand this instrument wrongly, so then wrong kind of output actually comes. But when we understand the instrument nicely, so then we can utilize the instrument in a nice way, right? So here the Bhagavad Gita, so sometimes it may look to be a little difficult to understand, because of the basic wrong understanding of the principles which are there. So we have to redefine a lot of definitions in our life. So then Bhagavad Gita will seem easier to understand actually. So now we'll start the session by offering our gratitude to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So by whose grace we are able to understand this spiritual literatures in a very, very easy way. Okay? So now today's session is about the mind control and the regulated lifestyle. So this is primarily based on the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is focusing on this subject. A little bit of recap. I know you might have gone through these various sessions. A little bit of recap of these sessions. The first session you might have gone through of why Bhagavad Gita. So everyone wants happiness, and the happiness we get by fulfilling our needs. So we have the body. If we fulfill the needs of the body, we become happy. To fulfill the needs of the mind, intelligence, emotional needs and things like that. So whenever needs are met, we tend to become happy. So but we are also the spirit soul, Atma. So when the need of the Atma is fulfilled, so then we become happy deep from within, right? So it gives a very, very deeper satisfaction and peace. So now, Bhagavad Gita actually fills this need. So it can actually satisfy our spiritual need, and for that reason we need to study Bhagavad Gita. And then in the second session we covered a little bit about the success formula. Anybody knows this particular shloka which is quoted here? Yatra Yogeshwara? It's practically the last shloka of Bhagavad Gita. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partha Dhanudhara, Tatra Shri Vijaya Bhutya Dhuvalinti Matamama. So, what does it say? Anybody can try a translation of this?
Wherever there will be Krishna, there will be Jaya.
Wherever there is Krishna? No.
And wherever there is
Arjuna.
So victory is definite. There is no doubt.
Okay. Tatra Shri Vijaya, opulence, victory and all auspiciousness, will be there in such a place, right? So there is, the Lord is there, and then the devotee of the Lord is there. So when this combination is there, so then that place, everything will be auspicious in that particular place, right? So the whole point is that we should also invite the Lord in our home. So some time back I had seen, a very long time back, I had seen an advertisement where people are doing only worship of Lakshmi, So but Lakshmi is very chanchala. She doesn't stay in any place for a long time. So but Lakshmi has another name in connection to chanchala. The Lord has a name in connection to chanchala. Anybody knows what is the name of the Lord? No. Which the Lord's name containing chanchala. His name is called Chanchalapati. So Narayana's name is called Chanchalapati, who is the master or husband of Chanchala. So Lakshmi's name is Chanchala. No, Lakshmi doesn't stay with anybody. Kabhi iska paas, kabhi uska paas, like no, chalte rehti hai. So she doesn't stay in any place for long, right? So, but she stays permanently at the feet of Lord Narayana. So she constantly renders service to Lord Narayana. So, like intelligent people who actually want to have Shri, which is mentioned in the Shloka, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partha Damodara, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhuti Dhruva Nitir Matarmama. So, like this Shri or opulence or Lakshmi ji, she stays permanently with Lord Narayana. So, intelligent people will not go behind Lakshmi. No, they will actually keep Narayana in the center, automatically Lakshmi will come. Right? So that's intelligence, right? So that is the success formula, right? So we should become a devotee and we should have association of devotees and we should have the Lord as a primary center in our life. So we should do everything in connection with the Lord. That actually makes a great success in our life. And then the suffering. What is the root cause analysis of suffering? So why does suffering at all come? You may have, okay, it's been put here. So attachment to temporary things, I cannot ask the question. So attachment to temporary things, because if I develop attachment to something which is temporary and it's bound to go away, and when it goes away, it causes pain, right? So more number of temporary things which I am getting attached to, so that much I am writing agreement saying I will become miserable, I will become miserable, I will become miserable. So anything that is temporary, if I try to develop attachment towards that, so it's a short formula for misery. And then, so this is also another important thing that we had when we designed this course. We had put this thing also in our, this one, because in the modern world, so this has become a lot, the comparison and competition, it has become a lot actually. In the Vedic civilization, if you see, so there is not much of comparison, there is not much of competition. But then people were quite satisfied in whatever positions they were. So whenever we present this philosophy or we present this kind of ideology, so people ask this question, then if everybody is peaceful, where is the spirit? Where is the, push for new creativity and development and things like that? There should be some push. That's when things happen. So if everybody are peaceful, there is no competition. There is no result-based competition and things like that. So then how can the economy function? How can the society develop and things like that? But there is an interesting thing. There are two parameters that are there. One is the quality of work and another is the results. So the Vedic system, it focused a lot on the quality of work and not much on the results. Basically, in fact, in Bhagavad Gita, if you study, we had made one whole seminar on that. So in every single chapter, right from the second chapter till the 18th chapter, Krishna keeps on mentioning that don't become attached to the results of your work. Why? If you become attached to it, you will be considered a miser, conjuice, like that. And if you become attached to the results of your work, it's very abominable. Why it's abominable? Because everything that exists belongs to the Lord, and anything that you make out of this and the result that comes out, it also belongs to the Lord. Just like how many of you are working here to some organization? All of you are working, right? So now, there is certain assignments that are given by the company to you, and if you execute that, the company will be the beneficiary. So the result of it will be enjoyed by the company, right? So not by you. So if you take the result of your work directly, so then it's not very good. The company will not like it, and it may be a punishable offense, right? So all the work that I am doing, the result of the work belongs to the organization, and the salary that is provided by them, that belongs to me, right? So in that way, so this results is not a very good thing, And on the other hand, Krishna mentions one who gives up, one who doesn't develop attachment towards the results of his work, he is a very nice person, and he can actually be very peaceful. And like that, many attributes he actually mentions. In fact, we wanted to compile all the things which Krishna talks about in relation to the attachment to the results. So just by compiling 6 chapters, so it went on to some 3 hours of seminar. So then after that, like we dropped it. It's like till 18th chapter, and every single chapter, Krishna actually, puts this particular this one. And so as you progress, like in the future sessions, you will also see the progression of the bhakti. How do you progress in bhakti? Or for that matter, either karma yoga, jnana yoga, or bhakti yoga, whichever yoga you perform. So all of them are going in the same path, So, but they are going to different destinations in the same path, So, but the basic and the initial milestone which every yoga person, which a person who is practitioner of any of the yoga systems expected to cross is this giving it the attachment to the results. That means he is spiritually advancing. He is spiritually doing well. He has crossed the first milestone. Be he a karma yogi, jnana yogi, bhakti yogi, whoever he may be. So this is the first milestone. So that he needs to cross. So by the Vedic culture or by the culture of knowledge through Bhagavad Gita, so if we can go past this particular milestone, that is giving up attachment to the results of our work, naturally the comparisons, all these things will go down, and we will be attached to the quality of work. So in the Vedic system, if you ask a Shudra, Shudra is a person who is supposed to work for the higher castes, he is supposed to work for a Brahmana or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya, A Shudra who is having a little bit of Brahminical qualities, he will be assistant of a Brahmana. A Shudra who is having a little bit of valor and things like that, so he will become assistant of a Kshatriya, because a Kshatriya goes to fight, and then a chariot driver, he is a Shudra. But then if he doesn't have that kind of valor, when the opposite party is shooting arrows, like he will run away from the chariot, so he will not have the courage to take his master to the opponents. So there needs to be qualities that is needed, and Shudra who is having a little bit of Vaishya qualities, he may assist a Vaishya, like he will also have a little bit of business sense and stuff like that. So now, if you ask a Shudra that you are working for this master, so Shudra means he is supposed to work. Anybody who takes employment is considered to be a Shudra in the Vedic this one. So Vaishya doesn't work, Kshatriya doesn't work, and Brahmana doesn't work. So all of them, they do their vrittis, in a different way. So now, if you ask a Shudra that you are working for this master, I can give you a better opportunity. You just switch over. He will say, no, that's not this one. So I will have to be loyal to my master. I will not give up the service of my master. So, but then you will get better results. So if you come over, but then you will say like, what's the use of the results? I am aiming for a higher destination of life. After this life, I am aiming for a higher destination. And what dharma I am following and what quality of work that I am doing, that actually determines my destination. I am not that much interested in the results, right? So the Vedic system always put forward a long-term result, long-term results by following of dharma, right? So the modernization is immediate results. What's the immediate gain that I'm going to have? And the Vedic system is like, what's the long-term gain that I'm going to have, right? So that's the way, like when we put our gain, to a long-term gain rather than short-term gain. Like how many of you have an experience of trading in the stock market? Okay, so intraday trade is always like quite a painful and quite a distressing kind of a this one. Always it is like a lot of I've seen some of my colleagues when I was working back then. So that time I've seen them like one window they used to do the work, and another window stock market is going on, and constantly there will be like, oh no, this has gone down and that has come up and stuff like that. So it's quite a pressurizing kind of a thing, quite a lot of anxiety that is put in, and people who are lazy investors, like they just invest in some good this ones, and then they expect returns over a long period of time. They are quite peaceful comparatively, right? So this is something which is very, very evident, in our normal day-to-day transactions also. This is quite evident that when we go for a long-term benefit, always it is quite peaceful. If we look for immediate benefit, it's going to be very, very stressful and very anxiety-filled and things like that. So that's one important thing. So root cause of suffering is so attachment to temporary things, and then this comparison, based on such temporary things. And then art of work, so we had covered about this good work, bad work, and inaction and stuff like that. And then what forces a person to do something bad. So Arjuna asked this question, Atakena prayuktoyam papam charati purusha anichana vivarshnaya baladiva niyojita. So even though I don't have a desire to do something wrong, as if pushed by some force, I'm doing something wrong. Why is it happening, right? So we will see some elements of the answer to that question in today's session also. And so we actually brought the point to necessity of accepting a guide. So we have, why do we need a guide? Like, why are we not intelligent enough? Are we not, like, if the book of Bhagavad Gita is given, like, we can understand what's right, what is wrong. So why should I need a guide? So the basic problem is, we have this like orientation or this question. The answer to that question is, Krishna mentions that Kama yesha, Krodha yesha, Rajoguna samudbhava, Mahashano, Mahapapma, Videna me Vaidina. So there is an eternal enemy called lust, which is sitting in our system and which is actually dictating everyone to do various things. Like it is not that we are independently able to take decision. We have been forced and we have been conditioned by certain elements. Some of it we will discuss it today as well. So now it's quite difficult to control the senses and the mind, and it always it's better for us to have a guide who can actually give us direction, who can actually tell us, this is not the way, you have to change your course of action and things like that. So it's quite important to have such a guide in our life. And we also had put this particular aspect that to seek for guidance is not a wrong thing, and it's not something, it's not something like less than our dignity or something like that, In the modern world, everyone has to prove themselves that, I know everything, So like everywhere it is, that kind of competition and that kind of this one is there. But in the Vedic sense, people were quite open, and even in the modern world, this is quite appreciated. So if I don't know something, and if I admit I don't know, I need guidance. So that's quite appreciated actually. And here in the midst of the battlefield, Arjuna, a very accomplished soldier and very, very great warrior. Somebody who has been revered by so many people, and in front of everyone, he admits, I'm confused, what to do, I need guidance. So it's something nice, it's not something like bad, and because of which he could able to get the expert guidance of Krishna, and he can, he was able to continue the battle with expert guidance, right? So, and then today's this one is about with all these things in the prelude that we have a tough problem. So we are not completely in control of ourselves. The senses, the mind, and things like that, which is dictated by this Nitya Vairina, which Krishna mentions, the eternal enemy called lust. So that actually doesn't allow us to function as we want. It actually puts a lot of layers of obstructions. So, and the mind is the master of all these senses. So now we come to the point of taking guidance from a spiritual master, and also first thing that we need to know is what is the nature of this mind, how does this mind actually work, and how to actually regulate this particular mind, and so how to go about. So this is the primary subject matter of today's discussion, right? So the nature of the mind. So it is considered to be the most powerful of the material elements. So we are composed of the body, which is made of earth, water, fire, air and ether. Those 5 elements, Panchabhutas. And beyond that is mind and intelligence, and then the false ego. These are all the different material elements that actually covers the soul. And the mind is considered to be a very, very powerful element, because practically speaking, everybody is pulled by the dictations of the mind. It's the whole of the marketing industry functions based on how your mind functions. They have understood the mind more better than us, right? So we ourselves, whether we want a particular product or not, if you go out and there are so many people determined, like, no, I will make this guy buy this product, no, that's it. And no, they have stats. No, if I bombard, no, so many times, no, this particular advertisement, no, this person will be convinced to buy the product, no. So, any of you have done Facebook advertisements yourself? Try to do Facebook advertisements? So, like, Facebook is a free software, right? Like, anybody can use it. But they make money out of us. Now, how do they make money out of us? So, when you if you want to promote a particular product, you put an advertisement over there. So, like, you are charged based on eyeballs. Something called as eyeballs is there. How many eyeballs have fallen on that particular advertisement? So that much you are charged, right? So, and businesses are paying for it. That means what? More the number of impressions, more the impressions on the mind, more likely that you will go for that particular product, right? So that's how the mind is actually functions. It's a very, very powerful element. And it's beyond our control. You cannot say, no, I'm not going to buy this. No, I'm not going to fall for this. No, you don't have choice. They have worked out the formula. So many times we will bombard this particular thing to this person, and this person has to buy it. No, that's all. So, like, in this way, like, the mind is very, very powerful. And initially, Vichitra, who was mentioning this particular shloka. So all of you are able to see this. This one, so I will just chant this shloka. You can repeat after me. Bandhuratmatmanastasya yenatmaivatmanajitaha atmanastu shatrutve anatmanastu shatrutve Vartenatmaiva Shatruva. So here it's mentioned Bandhur, Atma. So like this word Atma has many meanings. Atma means what? It's just pointing to me, I. So this I may refer to the body, the I may refer to the mind or the intelligence or the soul. It may refer to any of these things when I point to myself, right? So according to the context, this particular meaning is actually derived. So that when we understand the context of the scripture and the context of the text, you will be able to understand. So here it's mentioned, Bandhur Atmatmanastasya, Enatmain Vatmana Jitaha. So for him who has conquered the mind, Jitaha, the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy, right? So this is the way it works. Like just now we have discussed about advertisement strategy, where people are working on our mind. We don't even know that these people are making money out of our mind, right? So because we have not won over the mind, so then this mind is going to be a shatru, which is an enemy, which has become friend of another person, who's trying to exploit me, right? So this is one information that Krishna gives in Bhagavad Gita. And then Mavaivamsa Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana Manashashtani Indriyani Prakrutistani Karshati. So here Krishna is telling that this Mamaiva Amsha, so Krishna is mentioning that this living entity, or all of us, the living entities, who are we? He claims that Mama Eva Amsha, they are my parts and parcels. All the living entities are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So we are Amsha of the Supreme Lord. And Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, so they are eternal. They don't have, or all of us don't have a birthday and death day. Only this body has birthday and death day. The soul continues to exist, right? And Manashashtani Indriyani Prakrutistani Karshati. So what is the state of all these living entities? The state is very miserable. Why it's miserable? They are struggling very hard with the six senses. We know of five senses. Mind, what are the five senses? Eyes, nose, tongue, ears, and skin. Right? So the five senses are there. What's the sixth sense? The sixth sense is the mind, which is the master of all these five senses. So basically, if you have a group of workers, you have a supervisor over there, right? So those of you who have managed a little big festival or something like that, so when you hire security, No, like if you hire more than 2-3 security, then a supervisor also you have to hire. No, you cannot hire just securities. So like they'll send some supervisor also. So this mind is the supervisor. No, the mind is the one who actually dictates, who actually allocates work for all these senses. So now, how does this mind function? So it's like, there is a nice scene that is put here. So it seems very pleasant experience. Like a very gentle lady. She is pushing a cart and in the supermarket, and it seems to be a very smooth ride. It's smooth ride, right? And it's going to be a struggle. Huh? Yeah? It's going to be a struggle. Because so many options. So many options, and we are thinking like, what should I buy, what should I not buy, and things like that. And basically, like whatever was there in my shopping list, even more than that, gets purchased and things like that. So it's quite this one. Previously, if you see, like the shops used to be like the products used to be inside, and then across a counter we used to transact. And the sales used to be like somewhat like to some figure. And when this open market, the supermarkets actually came into existence, the sales actually doubled, tripled, many times. And I used to wonder, okay, if you keep the products like this, there is good chance for theft to happen, right? So there is a very, very good chance of theft to happen. And how do we actually go about? But then the profits are too good, even if little bit of theft happens, it's okay, So the profits are too good, not to worry about the theft. So that's how much this one is actually working, right? So it's really a very struggling this one. And in this, now it's only one person that is going. Imagine like if your kid is also accompanying the shopping, how the ride will be. It will be really crazy, right? So there is a small video in this connection. So this is the graphic display of our mind. And sometimes, so external display, right? So inside also some battles happen because we are gentlemen. We don't show off all these things. So we can contain all these things within. And the people call it as stress, pressure, and things like that and all. So but then when it happens, external manifestation is these kind of things. Right, so it's quite difficult to contain ourselves. So in the last sessions, I think you might have covered this particular shloka. Dhyayato vishayan pumsa sangate shubhajayate sangat sanjayate kamat kamat dodo vijayate. So like how does the mind actually gets this input? So whatever we see, it actually goes in as an input, and then when we get exposed to it, and then we start developing attachment to it, and then the mind wants it, badly, right? So that's how the mind actually gets into the trap. So, so Krishna actually mentions this particular lesson. This is a very nice shloka. All of us can repeat. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna, pramati balavadridam, tasyaham nigraham manye, Vayoriva suduskaram. Okay, so chanchalam hi mana Krishna. So this mind is quite restless. Now who is telling this? Huh? Arjuna, obviously like he's addressed to Krishna, that means like only two people were there in the conversation, right? So chanchalam hi mana Krishna. Hey Krishna, this mind is very, very chanchalam. Pramati, like it is like restless, balavat, very, very strong, and dridam, very obstinate, and like tasyaham, nigraham manye. Nigraham means like controlling. So to control over this mind, vayo iva suduskaram. So it is even a raging wind. Arjuna had many different astras. He had astras like there is Parvatastra, there is Vayostra. So when a Vayostra is sent, the counteraction is the Parvatastra, the mountain weapon. They used to have different kinds of weapon. So Arjuna had practical experience of controlling even raging wind. But then he is telling that mind is not possible to control. It's quite difficult. So he is mentioning that to Krishna. Right? So even great personalities, Arjuna is considered to be a very great personality. So when he went to, so Arjuna, when they were in the Vanavas, so at that time, like he actually went to the heavenly planets, to get more powers and more astras and things like that. So at that time, so Indra, so what is relation of Indra with Arjuna? Is Indra's father. Kunti had this boon, right, to invoke any great personality and to beget a child from them. So like Kunti had invoked Indra to beget Arjuna. So like in Indra in one sense, like he is actually father of Arjuna. So he offered all the heavenly pleasures and things like that. And then like Urvashi, one of the society girls of heavenly planets, she was offered for Indra's enjoyment. For Arjuna's enjoyment. And Arjuna told no, I am here for a different business. And also like Urvashi is an associate of like the heavenly people. So it's equivalent to my mother. I cannot look on you in that particular way. So that's the way like Arjuna actually refused. He's a very controlled person. And in fact, when Jayadratha, when he kidnaps Draupadi, so you all might know this one. Jayadratha kidnaps Draupadi when they were there in the forest, and that time, so it's mentioned in some places this particular description that so Arjuna and Bhima gets to know like this particular incident, and both of them they actually chase Jayadratha. They get to know the information a little later. Both of them they chase, and then Bhima is actually following Jayadratha. And Arjuna is coming back, and then he sees that the target is quite far, and we don't know like how far this person has gone. So he just meets a person on the way, and he asks, how much of time has passed? Jayadratha has passed from this direction, and then based on the time he calculates the distance. Like we have in the mathematics, like time and the distance and things like that. So he calculates the distance and he just shots the arrow and it hits the target. He controls the Jayadratha's chariot over there. So you can imagine what kind of mind control, what kind of precision with which Arjuna is actually functioning. So even such a person is telling the mind is very difficult to control. Not like any one of us, like an ordinary people. They were quite powerful, than like superbly powerful than us. And even for them, mind is a very difficult subject, right? So then, what does the stupid mind wants? Like it just always puts us in problem. It drags us into some this one. So does the mind wants us to suffer? Does the mind wants us to get into troubles and miseries and things like that? What does the mind want? What is the mind, when the mind is dragging us to do a particular thing, what is there in the mind of the mind? So, like, why is it actually dragging us like this? What does he want to achieve? Any inputs? What does the mind want? The desire, like ultimately, what does it want? Okay, desires propel the mind. So, but what does the mind want? Why does the mind, goes behind executing those desires? Happiness, yeah, happiness. Now, happiness is the thing that the mind wants, right? So, basically, the mind wants us to become happy, but then. It fails miserably. It doesn't make us happy at all. So then, why does it actually drives us crazy? So the mind actually, in fact, works very hard to make us happy, but then, ultimately the result is not coming in. So why is it so? So what's the mind's idea of happiness? Everyone has an idea of happiness. if you ask a small child, what will make you happy? The child will say like, if you give me a toy or a chocolate, I will become happy. And if the child grows up a little bit, and then he may want a cycle, or he may want a cricket bat or something like that. And then the child grows up a little more, then he may want a motorbike and things like that. All of us can imagine we have gone past all these things. And different ideas of happiness. Right now, our idea of happiness may be different. Maybe like a very, very pressing problem in our life. If that problem is solved, I'll be happy. So everyone has a unique definition of how I can become happy, right? So now this mind is also having a definition of how it can actually become happy. So what's the definition of happiness? Exploitation, accumulation, and supply of needs of the senses, and association of the opposite sex. The whole of the media and film industry, everything is actually putting this one. The Vedic tradition, they would have a separation of the male and the female. So that used to be the tradition. So my mother used to tell that in the village, they used to go from one village to another to study in the school. So when they were going, even the brother and sister would not walk together. That's the culture they would have. So that's now it's quite a different one that we have. So these all things the mind actually thinks this is nice, and if we provide these things to the body, and the body will become happy. So the mind's definition of happiness is this. So from where did this conception actually came from? So this conception actually has come from the shravanam, or the hearing. So everybody talks about it. The film industry talks about it. The advertisement industry talks about it. The people around us talk about it. So when everybody talks about it, the mind actually gets input. So that's why it is called as samskara. Samskara, how many of you heard this word samskara? Right? So what's the meaning of this word? Anybody can suggest? Culture. Very nice meaning. Any other this one of samskara? Impression. Very, very good definition. Very good meaning. Any other meaning? Tradition. Samskara. Tradition. Yeah, that's also very good meaning. Anything else? Ethics, values. Okay, so it's very, very amazing. This one's one of the things. The impression is a very good word. Actually, the samskaras, they actually puts impression onto the personality. The tradition also, what's the glory of our Vedic tradition? It had put so amazing values into the system. So in the Vedic tradition, if when we were small, just Diwali had passed, we used to go to the relative's house, and the parents used to say, you should offer pranams to your elders, and then there used to be exchange of gifts. We used to take some gifts for presentation, right? And many, many wonderful traditional things that used to be there. So that puts a lot of impression into the system. And it had a very better family environment actually. So I'd gone to one person's house, and he had a tough time with his son. So I had entered into the home, and then he told his son that beta thoda pranam karo. And you see that he told nahi kar sakta. And then he was completely out of place. So what to say? ठीक है प्रभु जी के लिए थोड़ा सा पानी लेके आओ. तुम लेके आओ. And so why all these things is happening? So this is the impression that the modern cartoons have given to our children. The modern media and the modern this is the impression. This is the samskara that's actually going on. The mobiles, the YouTube, Instagram, and then the cartoons, different kinds of cartoons that comes, and the media and things like that. So this is the samskara. In the traditional way, the samskara is meeting different family members, and playing with other children, and exchanging respects, exchanging gifts and things like that. So they would see, So now, bichara, the child also has not seen. It's what do they call, nuclear families, So the child didn't have the opportunity to see the parents offering respects to somebody, right? So otherwise, when the elders used to be there, the child used to see, father and mother, they are offering pranams to the elders, and that thing is subtly going inside actually, and naturally they start behaving picking up those things. So now, this is the problem. Like in the modern day, the mind has conceived these things because it is programmed. It's not no fault of the people. No, it's the program that is actually happening. So the bombardment of the modernization, that's happening. So because of which the samskara is actually going in. Without our knowledge, it's actually going in. So one time I had gone to one of my relatives' place, and there was one TV serial that was going on. So in that, I don't know what's the serial all about, but then two people, two ladies, they were scolding each other like very, very badly. And I was telling to my relative that, why are you seeing this? It's like, it's such a bad exchange of words that's happening. So then she told like that, it's just a serial, it's just going on, it's just an entertainment. No, you don't know, like whatever you get exposed to, you are actually shaping yourself like that. You don't have a choice. You can get exposed to something and you will not be affected. So you don't have a choice of that. So better get exposed to something good, So that's why this satsanga, like why we call it a satsanga. So here we come together, we do kirtan, and some of the elements what you remember of this satsanga, what happens? Like can you say some things that happens in the satsanga? Kirtan happens. What else happens? Chanting. Then association of devotees. Positive energy. Prasadam. So some elements, even more subtler elements. Like is this satsang charged? Any money is charged for this one? No. So when we come here, so we get an samskara of seva. Like it is purely for the motive of service. We are trying to do something, right? So that comes. And when our children also come here, they see that other devotees are serving prasadam, and somebody is cleaning, somebody is rolling the mat, and things like that. Kis liye kar rahe hain? Like what's the reason why they are doing this? Oh, it's service. Without getting any result in return. Without getting result in return, we are just doing something. It's a very, very big samskara. That's actually happening. So this satsang programs actually makes us, one is the positive, this one of exposing ourselves to the sound vibration of the Hare Krishna mantra, and studying Gita, such a wonderful scripture. And on top of it, we are coming here for a non-profit motive. We are coming here for a seva motive. So that's a very, very powerful samskara. This is like, this is quite opposite to what modernization is actually, talking about, right? So that is, all these things are going to actually put impressions. The mind has developed a conception. If I have to be happy, I have to accumulate a lot. I have to supply the senses with lots of sense objects. Eyes with nice things to see. Tongue with nice things to eat. Everything like, please keep supplying and supplying and supplying, and you'll become happy. So, but then that's not the right definition, right? So, so we see that the mind frames the goals based on what it hears. Make money, become that, achieve this, buy this product, and things like that. Why? Because people tell it, and advertisements tell it. The environment is actually bombarding this particular information into us. And then, but what's wrong with this definition? So this is the wrong with this definition. Let's chant this shloka. Eki samsparsha ja bhoga dukkha yonaya evate adyantavanta kaunteya nateshu ramate buddha. Eki samsparsha ja bhoga. So ja is used for this birth, taking birth. So ja, like any word like which has this word ja.
Atmaja.
Huh? Atmaja. One who's one who's born like from himself, something like that. It comes Atmaja. So like that is Brahma is called as the Atmaja. So like any other word with ja? Huh? Agraja. Agraja. Agraja means what? One who has taken birth before me. Agra means before. Agraja. Jalaja. What is the meaning of Jalaja? That which has taken birth in the water. No, Lakshmi ji has a name of Jalaja. She was born out of the churning of the milk ocean. So she has got this one of Jalaja. Pankaja, what is lotus? Panka means what? Filth. Filth. The entity which has taken birth from filth. That's called Pankaja. So here it is Samsparshaja. Sparshaja means what? That which has taken birth from sparsha, contact. So what takes birth? Dukkha. The dukkha takes birth when what happens when the senses and the sense objects come in contact. What happens? The misery takes birth. Actually misery gets pregnant. Dukkha yonaya means literal meaning of that is misery gets pregnant to be delivered later on. So that gets delivered later on, right? So samsparshaja bhoga dukkha yonaye evate adyantavanta konte mateshu ramate viva. So that kind of a happiness which is born out of contact of senses and sense objects, so that give rise to the dukkha in a later point in time, right? So, and such kind of happiness is adi antavanta konteya. So it has a beginning and it has an end. And na teshu ramate buddha. An intelligent person will not take pleasure in such kind of happiness. Happiness of bringing the senses and sense objects together, right? An intelligent person does not take part in source of misery which is due to contact with material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end, so the wise man does not delight in them, right? So this is now we see the wrong definition that the mind has picked up. So the mind has picked up the definition, you supply sufficient things, sufficient sense objects for the senses to enjoy, but then the definition is completely wrong. So when the senses and sense objects come together, it only signs off a contract for misery, later point in time, right? So that's the problem. So that's why we need to consult the scriptures. How to actually become happy, we should consult the scriptures, right? So now, somehow the mind has become the master. So the actual hierarchy in the system is Indriyani paranyahur, Indriyevya paramana, Manasastu para buddhir, yo buddhes parakastu saha. So saha, who's that saha? Saha is like me, like the living entity, right? So what is it comes from the Indriyani paranyahu. So the basic working instruments that we have is the Indriya or the senses, right? So we saw about the eyes, nose, ears and things like that. So that's the basic karana. In Vedic, in the Sanskrit it is called as karana. So that means the instrument that is used for performing karma. So that's called karana. So the senses are called karana. So Indriya is the basic elements, and Indriyani paranyahu, Indriyavya paramana. So better than the material earth, water, fire, air, ether, higher than that is the senses, higher than them is the mind. And then manasastu para buddhir. Higher than mind is buddhi, intelligence, and then yo buddhe parakastu saha. So the living entity is even more superior than that, right? So now this is the hierarchy. So where is the mind in the hierarchy? It's quite low in the hierarchy, right? So senses and then the mind and intelligence and then the soul. So the mind is quite low in the hierarchy, but somehow he has become the master. He has become the controller of the whole system, right? So this is a functional document of the body, like in one of Kata Upanishad it's mentioned. It's figuratively mentioned, a chariot, the body is compared to a chariot. So Atmanam Ratim Vidhi, Atmanam Ratim Vidhi, that is Shariram Ratam Evacha, Buddhim Tu Sharatim Vidhi, Manah Pragraham Evacha, Indriyani Hayanyahur, Vishayam Steshu Gocharan, Atmendriya Mano Yuktam, Bhoktethi Ahur Manishinaha. So this is, the individual is the passenger in the car of the material body, and intelligence is the driver, mind is the driving instrument, that's the strings that controls the horses, and then the senses are the horses, and the self is thus the enjoyer or the sufferer in association of the mind and the senses. So it is understood to be a great thinker. So now, understood by the great thinkers. This is the way of understanding. So now we see, in a chariot, so the passenger has to tell where he is supposed to go, and then the driver has to take complete control of the reins, and the horses, they should be kept under control and they should be made to go in a particular direction. But if the equation reverses, like the driver is very weak, वो रस्सी नहीं पकड़ पा रहा है, so and driver is very weak, and then the horses are each of the horses, it is if you are able to see this picture, one of the horse is, the eyes is put in one of the horse, and the nose is put in another horse, and the ears is put in another horse, like that, different senses are put in different horses, and if each of them actually drag in different directions, how the journey will be. Journey will be very terrible. And then the mind, what it says, mind is the reins. What it says, if intelligence controls, then the horses come under control. If the intelligence is not able to control, then the horses drag in different directions. And like the Bhagwan Jana, like gaadi kaise chalegi. It's quite a difficult thing. Right, so this is this one, like the passenger has to direct, the soul has to take charge, and the intelligence has to take charge of the reins, and the mind should be under the control of the intelligence, and horses must be controlled, right? So then only the journey can be peaceful. So if we let loose our senses, how the modern world is actually dictating, that just go about and enjoy, So that's actually, it's only for the statement. Nobody can enjoy just going about, right? So only by sense control, a person can enjoy. Only by sense control there can be the satisfaction of heart and things like that. So it's a very great science. So how does the mind function? So now, like intelligence is weak and the soul is not able to give a direction, and the senses are just dragging the mind in different directions, and so now the mind is having the charge, like how does the mind actually functions? So anybody wants to give some input, the ways of functioning of the mind? How will the mind function? Any weird thought? How does the mind function? By seeing things, okay? Huh?
By taking the inputs from the senses.
Okay, taking the inputs from the senses.
Try to manipulate the things which are good, which are bad,
Which are good, which are bad? No.
by herself, not by intelligence.
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
By mere observation. By mere observation.
By observation, okay. By observation. One nice thing, mind functions by likes and dislikes. And no wonder the social media actually has adopted it. That's the language of the mind. I like it. So why do you want this? Because I like it. Whether it is good or bad, why do you get into so much of analysis? I just simply like it. So that's how the mind actually functions, right? So the intelligence functions based on whether it is good or bad, discrimination, analysis and things like that. So but then the mind just simply likes it. That's it. And I dislike it, that's it. So there is no logic to it, right? So like that. So the mind, the ways of working of the mind, there is no logic to it. It just simply likes, based on the inputs that we get. You might have come across this statement of Bhagavad Gita, Karanam Guna Sangosya Sadasat Yoni Janmasu. So like if I come in contact with mode of goodness, I will become conditioned by mode of goodness. So then I will start liking a peaceful life. I will start liking following dharma and things like that. And if I come in contact with mode of passion, then I will start liking fleeting happiness, immediate happiness. I should get immediate quick results and things like that. And I need to achieve a lot of things in this material world. I need to become the greatest person in this world and things like that. And if I come in contact with the mode of ignorance, so then I become conditioned by the mode of ignorance. Then I start liking laziness, and then I start liking procrastination and things like that. So these kind of things are effects of mode of ignorance. And which kind of mode I get affected by? My likes and dislikes changes, and I am just simply dragged by these three modes of material nature, right? So this is how the whole construction of our body and the broader system is there. And avrutam jnanametena jnanino nitya vairina kama kaunteya duspurena analena cha. So this is one of the answers which Krishna gives. when Arjuna asked this question that who is that who is controlling me? I don't want to do something wrong, but still I'm pulled to do something wrong. So one of the answers, in the sequence of the answers, he mentions this, Avratam. Avratam means covered. Avratam jnanam etena. So what does this, what is the covering that's happening? The real intelligence of the soul is covered. How it is covered? Jnanino nitya vairina. Who is actually covering it? So the eternal enemy of this intelligent person. All of us are intelligent people. Like all of us, the soul is made of Sat, Chit and Ananda. Chit means intelligence, knowledge, right? So all the living entities are intelligent, but then their intelligence is covered. Who covers this intelligence? Nitya Vairina, our eternal enemy. Who is that Nitya Vairina? Kama Rupena Kaunteya. The lust is the eternal enemy of the living entity, and that covers. And how does it covers? Duspurena Analemacha, right? So thus the wise living entity's pure consciousness becomes covered by his eternal enemy in the form of lust, which never satisfied and which burns like fire. So if somebody says, okay, fine, it has some demands. No, let me satisfy that, and after that it will be peaceful. No, it's like fire. How much ever fuel you put into the fire is never going to say I am satisfied. It's going to consume and consume and consume, right? So and it's going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. So that's the nature of this covering, this lust. What's the definition of lust? Anybody can say? Definition of lust in the language of Bhagavad Gita.
Excessive desire.
Excessive desire, yeah, that's very close. Very close.
Attachment.
Attachment, okay. Attachment to things which doesn't belong to us. That's called lust. And what belongs to us? Ishavashamidam sarvam yatkincham jagatyam jagat thena kattena bunjita madhita kashyasvidhanam. Everything that exists, animate and inanimate, everything belongs to the Supreme Lord. Nothing belongs to us. So trying to get anything, trying to say that, okay, even this laptop belongs to me. That's not true. This is property of the Supreme Lord. It's given to me for the service of the Supreme Lord, right? So that's a proper way of understanding, So when we think that, oh, this belongs to me, that's lust, And that's the thing, that's the eternal enemy of the living entity, because that's quite opposite to our nature. What's the reality? Reality is everything that exists belongs to the Lord. And what does the lust say? No, everything may belong to the Lord, but your home belongs to you. Your vehicle belongs to you, and so many other things belongs to you. That's where this eternal enemy actually puts us into the bondage of this material world, right? So, and it burns okay, fine, if I have a certain amount of belonging, will I be satisfied? No. If you have a medium-sized house, then you should go for a bungalow. And if you have that, then maybe you should have a bigger house and things like that, and you should have bigger vehicle, and there is no end to it actually, So that's how this lust actually functions. You own things, Actually speaking, you don't own anything. Everything is owned by the Supreme Lord, right? So that's how this eternal enemy called lust, it actually covers the real intelligence of the living entity, the pure consciousness of the living entity. So Indriyani Mano Buddha Ashadishtanam Uchyate Ether Vimohayatesha Jnanam Avritta Dehinam. So this word Avritya, Avarna, so that's often used covering, So when we come for the spiritual practice, so we are not going to learn something new, into our system. What are we going to do? We are going to remove the covering, So one of the statements in the scriptures mentions Nitya Siddha Krishna Bhakti Sadhya Kabunai Shabanadi Shuddha Chitta Karayoda. So the devotion to the Supreme Lord is nothing to be gained from an external source. It's already there within us. Only this covering, which is there, that needs to be removed. So then the pure devotion to the Supreme Lord will arise. Shabanadi Shuddha Chitta Karayoda. Right? So this the senses, the mind and the intelligence are the sitting places of this lust. So now we see how the Bhagavad Gita gets very, very strategic. If we have an enemy, and if we know the strategic position, where does this enemy actually sits? So then we can actually attack the enemy, right? So it's quite easy to attack the enemy. So where does this enemy sit? It sits on the senses, mind and intelligence. And no wonder all the yoga systems asks us to regulate the senses, mind and intelligence, right? So they give scriptures to study and they give regulations to the mind. The mind says like, let me sleep a little more. No, every day you have to get up at the same time, right? And maybe like meditation process, today I like it, I may do it for half an hour, tomorrow I'll do it for 5 minutes, and day after tomorrow, gaya ho gaya, things like that. So then this is the way the mind works actually. I like it, I don't like it, and things like that. But then the yoga system or any of the yoga systems you take, there is a fixed regulation, right? So many number of rounds of Hare Krishna mantra you should chant. In one day I don't like to chant. No question of no liking. You just simply have to chant. Oh, my mind is not cooperating, but still you have to chant, right? So that's how the regulation is put. The likes and dislikes, no entertainment for likes and dislikes. We have to be put into regulation, right? So that's how we regulate. So then the senses, how the senses are regulated. So their senses are regulated in the way that, we understand eating of non-vegetarian food. No, it's actually giving himsa to other living entities. No, we should not accept that. So we should take vegetarian food. And even that food, if we can offer to the Lord and take it as prasad, that's so amazing, that's so purifying, right? So, and serious practitioners, they actually take a vow that, I will not consume anything without first offering it to the Lord, right? So you see nice boga offering, is happening, they are removing the boga, of Jagannath. So it's like, this one, that's if you dig into your traditions, 2-3 generations before, if you see, in all of our homes, this tradition would be there. They would cook, and everything that is cooked is first offered to the Lord. Later on, that got reduced to few days in a week, the offering would happen, and then later on it reduced to only festivals, and later on wo bhi gayab ho gaya. Kuch offering ka system hi gayab ho gaya actually. So, but then it's a basic tradition, whatever we consume, first we offer it to the Lord. So I remember when we used to be small, especially Diwali time, a lot of remembrance was coming about the childhood. So we used to be so fond of bursting crackers, and then but then the crackers would be kept in front of the Lord. And we used to be so eager to burst the crackers. The mother would say first the puja has to happen, then only you go to burst the crackers. So then we used to think what's this? Just the crackers are there, we are there, just the enjoyment is there. Why the parents are separating, right? So but then this is the basic this one system, that whatever is there, the first thing that should be enjoyed by the Lord, and we should take it as prasad. That's the system, right? So, in this way, the senses are controlled. In many other different ways, the sense control is actually put in. So, this is the strategic place our eternal enemy called lust actually sits, and these are the strategic places which needs to be regulated, right? So, it's so precise, so such a wonderful precision, right? How clear our scriptures are, quite logical and quite scientific, our scriptures are, right? So there is another way the mind works. This is it works in 2 stages, bhoga and tyaga. The mind always works on extremes. When we become, when we come in the mood of devotion, whole day we spend in the temple. And when we, in other times, mind is off and things like that, not going to the temple or satsang for weeks together, things like that. So this is the state of the mind. But then one very important mantra, one very, very important mantra that's all of us should try to do, try to practice, imbibe, this thing. Very simple mantra. So mind control, the regulation means what? One important thing is same thing, same time every day, or same routine. We have to put ourselves into a same routine, at least for some period of time. Maybe you're chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, and then worship of the deity of the Lord, and certain things in our day. We should put it as a regulation, and then we should do it. Come what may, we should keep doing it. Every single day, right? So sometimes people ask after a few months of practice of Krishna consciousness, so what's more new is there? Tell what's more new is there. So then our response is that don't look for something new. Even one small thing that we have learned also, no, we have to go deeper into it, and we have to, like actually increase the depth of that particular this one, and that's by abhyasa, practice, by going again and again and again into the same thing, right? So that's how the yoga systems, like in every yoga system, the same mantra is chanted, like same kind of procedures, are done every single day. It's quite very powerful. You have observed like any place where water falls and these kind of places. So even a small drop of water which is consistently falling on a rock, in same place over a period of time, it actually creates a kind of a depression over there, right? So that's the power of doing things consistently over a period of time. So this mind control actually comes from the consistency, right? So like mind functions based on first what we saw, based on likes and dislikes, and now we saw bhoga and tyaga, so like extremes, it works based on extremes, right? So since intelligence is covered, then the mind is clueless, the mind is just going hayward. So now the solution is how to control the mind. So the mind has to be told, you are not the master, like better shut up and follow, that's all. No listening to the mind, right? So this is very, very important. So like we have to give positive engagement, just like small children, they are like quite playful, they're going here and there. That's exactly the mind is, inside that's exactly what's happening, like everywhere it is going around. So but then when it is nice engagement is given, so the monkey-like mind, which is jumping from one branch to another, one thought from another, sometimes these thoughts, the frequency of switching becomes so fast, it appears like a tufan mind mein, so like such a raging amount of thoughts actually comes in and things like that. So this has to be controlled by diligence. One has to take a strong measure. One has to strongly tell to the mind that you are not the master, right? So this is a very nice quote that I came across of Martin Luther King. So our scientific powers have outrun our spiritual powers. We have guided missiles and misguided men. It's like so in the same way, like this we have a misguided mind. So that mind is presently guided by the media and advertisements and things like that. So rather the mind has to be guided by a strong intelligence which is enriched with the knowledge of scriptures. So then it is very nice. So there is no possibility of one's becoming a yogi, O Arjuna, if one eats too much or eats too little, sleeps too much or does not sleep enough. Extremes doesn't work. It's not going to help us at all, right? And what actually has to happen? So this is a very important shloka. Now let's repeat. Yuktahara viharasya Yukta chetasa karmasu Yukta swapnava bodhasya Yogo bhavati dukkha. So it is yukta. So that is like he who is regulated, in the habits of eating, sleeping, recreation and work can mitigate all material pains by the practice of yoga system, right? So regulation requires a process, and the process, if it is a bona fide process, it's very nice. So we have the regulation of getting up early in the morning and chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, studying of the Bhagavad Gita and things like that, and this is also a regulation. Every week, coming for the satsang program and things like that. So when we do this regulation, like when we do this routine on and on and on, so then one can mitigate all the material pains. Such powerful this one. So like we saw that when the mind is not controlled, it is powered by the lust and it drags the living entity, and it forces us to engage with the sense objects, and then we sign a contract for the misery, right? And when we regulate it, so we bring the mind and the senses under control, and that mitigates all the material pain, right? So it is like Lord Sri Krishna said, O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by suitable practice and by detachment. So this practice is a very, very essential thing that we were talking about. So this system, like of waking up early in the morning, a simple formula I'm just mentioning for which is suitable for all of us. So waking up early in the morning, you can set a time and let the time be constant. Like 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock or whatever it is. So you can get up And then in the ashram, like, we are expected to get up by between 3 and 3:30. And our first program happens by 4:30 actually. So like it's over a period of time, over many years, that becomes a very, very strong regulation. And even if we want, we cannot sleep beyond that time. It's like the clock has set so strongly, it becomes very difficult to, even if we want, like, we cannot come out of the system. So, and we start relishing that. That becomes like very rewarding actually over a period of time. So this practice and detachment, this is what Krishna mentions. It may be very difficult to regulate, but then do it again and again and again. That's how the system of controlling. So not just I tried, it's not working. No, it's not going to work like that. I will try and I'll try again and again and again over a period of time, right? So like that, we should actually do it. So effect of the sense control. I'm sorry for like taking 10 more minutes to finish. So it's like one who works in devotion, who is a pure soul and who controls his mind and senses is dear to everyone. We can actually win friendship. We can actually make nice relationships. So like there is so much of seminars that is going on how to win relationships and things like that. Just by controlling the mind and senses, one can actually gain relationships. Because he becomes dear to everyone. And everyone is dear to him. Though always working, such a man is never entangled. He may be working like any other person in the world, but then he will never be bound to the karmic reactions. Because senses and the mind are controlled, so it actually pulls down the effect of the karmic reaction or base of the karmic reaction. So now there is a very nice practical tip in line of this mind control and regulation. So how to actually control our senses. So it's a figurative example, don't try it at home. Just take the principle. So this heating the frog, so the principle is that, so when, this is some kind of an experiment that is done in some biological things. So, but then the principle is very important. We are not going to heat and boil a frog. So, like, so any drastic changes, the mind is not going to accommodate. It's going to rebel like anything, right? So the changes have to be brought in, phase by phase, delta by delta. It has to be brought in, and then by constant practice, right? So this heating the frog, what happens? Like if you put the frog on a hot water, it will jump off. But then if you heat the frog, with slow temperature, so when the temperature rises, the frog gets accustomed to the temperature, and then it stays on, and then finally it gets boiled. So like that, the mind is also like this. We have to actually cheat the mind. The mind is not our friend. If we have to get the work done, we have to cheat. And those of you who are parents, like you may be very expert. So like the children may be wanting to do something. I want to go here. Better like जाएंगे. पहले ये करेंगे, उसके बाद उधर जाएंगे. So ये करते वो भूल गया. So like that. So in this way, the mind has to be trained in that way. Slowly. Now if I am getting up probably 7 o'clock, and if I start to get up at 4 o'clock, the mind and the body also will not cooperate. The whole biological cycle will get disturbed. We have to gradually, we need to set a goal and we need to gradually change, shift the gears over a period of time. So, and we should have a plan. In 1 week, I will try to get up, 15 minutes I will try to adjust. In the next week, I will try to adjust another 15 minutes, like that. We can actually make a plan and we should, gradually we should shift. And the mind gets accustomed and the body gets accustomed, and in that way, like, the thing becomes very easy. Sometimes, like, after hearing this regulation and things like that, people become enthusiastic and they make drastic changes. And within a week, like, everything is gone. Why? Like, you picked up some nice principles, why you left it? And it's so miserable, I tried to do, these people told, like, you will be happy, your body will be healthy and things like that. I started to get up, 3 hours earlier than, what I used to be. And I had, like, loose motions, and I had, like, dizziness, and I was sleepy throughout the day and things like that. So, this is what will happen if we do drastic changes. So, like, it is very healthy, it is very nice, scientific, but also it has to be done in a phased manner. It has to be done in a very phased manner. So, this is just a practical tip. Over a period of time, we can actually like do this thing. So, but we should have a goal and a plan. So you can discuss with whoever devotees you are connected with. So you can actually strategize which aspects of the senses, mind, and intelligence. So which are the strategic places where our enemy actually sits. So how are you going to actually regulate this? What's the plan? You can actually work out a plan and you can go about by that. It's quite scientific. So, and then this is the eternal tip. Why should we chant the Hare Krishna mantra? So because this is the Yuga Dharma, like Kalautad Harit Kirtana. This is the Yuga Dharma, and we should all chant this Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Iti Shodashakam Namnam Kalikalmashanashanam Natah Paratropaya Sarvavedeshu Krishnate. Right? So this 16 worded mantra is so 16 worded mantra, 32 syllables. So this mantra can destroy all the ill effects of the Kali Yuga, and there is no other better solution, there is no other better this one that you can find even in all of the Vedic scriptures. Right? So with this we pause today's discussion. So can we take few questions, Prabhu?
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Nicely explains all the things. So now, if you have any questions regarding today's topics or how to, what is the process of mind control, you can ask, how you can answer. And in between, you are just getting the chanting one, then you do chanting, then you do Damodar, then you do Prabhu. So if you have any questions, you can ask to Prabhu.
Yes.
It's related to that Diwali. It's Diwali is related to that coming of the Bhagwan Ram. But we do puja of Lakshmi.
Yeah. So that's also the Avirvav Tithi of Lakshmi ji. She had come from the churning of milk ocean on that particular Tithi. That's her Lakshmi. Any questions?
Hare Krishna. Maybe I will put my question. I'll rephrase it if it does not go in a while. So, as it has been said, like the intelligence or the soul is inside, and we are like mind is another layer is there, and all these things will control and all right. So, just we have to remove those things to make sure that we are aligned to the actual supreme soul, and we'll be aligned to the spiritual world activities. Our mind should be controlled in that way. Like you are not you don't have to drive a lot. But I'm just trying to compare that with our normal day-to-day activities with like work, like these things, where we have to make sure that our minds take a right decision, and we have to. So that means I just got confused on that way, like. In that context, other like not spiritual, otherwise, our mind has to be driven, our mind has to get that input and drive the things well in the normal way. But in the spiritual way, when we are saying like mind is not the main which we like. So
yeah, so even in the material dealings also the same principle applies. So the intelligence should be well educated, So like what's the process? I'm faced with a particular situation. What's the standard way of handling this particular situation, right? So in the spiritually also, in materially also, in whichever way you see. So like any hazy decision, that's taken just because I like it, it's always going to be a problem. That's going to be. So like if this situation is there, what's the right thing to be done? Like in the work environment, we may have the code of work and we may have the expectations set and things like that. So based on that, the mind should be given input. This particular thing has to be done.
So basically, mind has to be educated in a bona fide way for both the cases.
Yeah, both of us. It's like a supervisor, who's controlling some employees. If supervisor goes on making his decisions, the boss will go crazy. The boss will say like, I have a project and I've given you a particular task. You just execute this task. It should be told like that. You cannot go on your trip like that. So the mind cannot be allowed to go on its own trip. So it has to always be educated. And the intelligence is there for that purpose. So we need to know the standard operating procedures, and we need to know like the scriptures are standard operating procedures in terms of the spiritual practices. And in every location that we go, so we have standard operating procedures, right? So, and we should follow them. You know, that's intelligence should say, you know, this is the standard procedures. If you do this, you'll be happy. You know, and the reasoning can be given, like why, you know, why this is the standard procedures? Why not in a different way? Okay, you're allowed to question. You know, you can analyze. You can reason on like why this is the best way to do. So, but then, like, if you don't have a solid argument against it, you cannot disobey that. You have to follow it. Right? So, like that.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Swami, out of the four yogas, right? Karma yoga, Jnana yoga, Kriya yoga, Mood yoga, right? So, could you please explain on Buddhi yoga actually? So,
Yeah, Buddhi yoga is Bhakti yoga, which which is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. So Karma yoga, Jnana yoga, Dhyana yoga, and Bhakti yoga. These are the four yogas that are there. So nowadays, like many yogas are getting created. So that's all not from Bhagavad Gita. So like Krishna is mentioned as Yogeshwara. He is the master of all the yoga systems, and only he has the right to create a yoga system. Nobody can create a new yoga system. Right? So like these are the four yoga systems that are there. Right? So what's your question?
yeah, about the Buddhi yoga, they talk a lot on the Buddhi yoga also.
That's Bhakti yoga.
Bhakti yoga. Thank you, sir.
Any other questions from Mataji's side? Anybody?
Get up early in the morning, like one practical question which I face as you were telling, we start waking up and again it goes away. So what time we should sleep, or it depends on the individual or how it should be.
Yeah, if you want to get up early, the best solution is to sleep early. So that's the best solution. And apart from that, if you see, like generally people's waking up pattern, is if I have to go to work, then I have to get prepared, and exactly like the time that is sufficiently needed, only that time we will get up. Before that, anyway, time is there. Like let me sleep a little more, and things like that. So that requires a little bit of solid push. So like we have some kind of a buddy system. Like you can have some friends, like who wants to get up, or even within the family, like all of you decide upon. So all of us have to get up at the same time. So then, like each other push each other, like in that way, like we can actually get up. And then some people have this difficulty in getting up early in the morning. So there is another very powerful solution, that is prayer. All of you can try this prayer. That it works. It works really miraculous. And when it works, you will actually see the miracle. So you will actually see the miracle. So you just pray to the Lord, very intensely. I want to get up 4 o'clock next morning, right? So you pray very intensely, and I want to do my spiritual practices and things like that. Please wake me at this particular time, and you'll see. You'll wake up at that time. With the power of prayer also you'll see, like you'll have a testification. One time, one devotee told me, like, and I tried it and it worked, and almost in a daily practice, I have this experience. So it's very powerful. It works actually. So the prayers actually works, and then peer pressure. We need to have peer pressure, for the mind to control. So like in the home also, like you can have this system built, or you can have buddy system, like where you have to get up at this time and you have to call another person, and the other person host mein aake answer karna hai. So then both are awake, right? So like that. So in this way also we can actually practice different disciplines. Anything else in that question?
I was reading a book, The Power of Subconscious Mind. So is it the modern science where we discuss about conscious and subconscious mind, or it is in our Vedic system also it is there that we have conscious and subconscious mind concept?
So the modern system doesn't have many terminologies, or they don't understand the system in great detail. So they put it in this kind of terms, conscious and subconscious mind and things like that. The Vedic system has this one of 3 different kinds of avastha, like Jagrata, Sushupti, and that is the medium. Swapna, Jagrata and Sushupti. So the three different kinds of state of awareness. And then also like we have this mind intelligence falls on Chitta, that is the, like Chitta is the component of, it's a very, very subtle component actually. So we have much more technical terms for that, and the scriptures have analyzed it in very, very great detail actually. So we have the conceptions. We have much more greater detail of such conceptions because we are the ones who are like working on that platform. So like the modern people, for them this is an obstacle. For them the sense gratification is more important, and for that they have to tune the mind. And for us, the mind control is very important subject, and we have much more greater detail in this subject. Okay. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta ki jai, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Came here and gave us. We will request, can you just frequently come and give us this nectarian to all of us? So we can pray one time Hare Krishna mantra of this session. So Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Now we'll do chanting. So after that, 5 minutes, Damodar Arati will do. Then we'll go for the prasada.
Like in the chanting, what's the most important thing?
Hearing.
Yeah, hearing. We should pray to the Lord that let there not be any disturbance, and let us not think of anything else apart from the song vibration. Right? So let's try to do this chanting.
Hare Krishna. So I'm not sure how many of you, but you are aware. This is on this I can await with the first mantra, which is that